Welcome, dear children. Today we are going to discuss about basis. In the previous lecture, we have discussed and studied about the different kind of assets, right? And the effect of indicators on assets as well as basis. So today's topic is basis. I'm going to discuss about a little bit about basis and some important bases, right? As we all know that bases are a class of chemical compounds which dates bitter, right? And are soapy to touch, right? They are soapy to touch. Some common bases which you must aware about that are bases and they are found in basis. One is calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide, right? It is found in lime water. This is the first one. Then we have magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide. It is found in milk of magnesia. These are very, very important. One mark question can be there on this. That's which base is present in this. Then third, we have sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide. This is present in caustic soda. Caustic soda, and that is used in manufacturing of soap and paper, right? Then we have potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide, it is present in caustic potash. Caustic potash. And it is used in manufacturing of soap also. Last, ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium hydroxide. It is found in household and glass cleaners. Household and glass cleaners. Ammonium hydroxide is present in this. Right, so these are the main 5 bases which are present in the given substances, as I told you. Now, if we rub the solution of a base between our fingers, we feel soapy to touch, right? And the substances which contain bases, they are known as basic in nature, that we all know, right? But that is very important. Some bases, not all. Some bases dissolve in water. All bases cannot dissolve in water. That's why I'm telling you some bases dissolve in water, right? And that's why they are called alkalis. Dissolve in water, are known as alkalis, right? Some bases dissolved in water that are known as alkalis. So that is about bases and the changes and the effects on the indicators that we have already done in the previous lecture, right? Now, very important process which we are going to discuss next, that is neutralization. Neutralization. As from its name, it's very clear, neutralization. So what will happen when acid will be mixed with base, or base is mixed with acid? So something new will be there, because acid and base, they will neutralize each other, right? So when they are mixed in suitable quantities, so the resulting solution will be there that will be neither acidic nor basic. So neutralization, characteristic property of sourness in acids and bitterness in bases is lost, right? So what I can say, that acid when acid mixed with base, they form salt plus water, right? And this reaction is known as neutralization reaction. We know that acids are sour in taste, right? But when they are mixed with base, they will lose their sourness, and bases will lose their bitterness, and then they will become neutral. That neutral is salt plus water. Along with this, heat is evolved. Evolved means released. Heat is evolved when this reaction takes place. Right? Now, a salt. A question might be coming in your mind that what is this salt? Because when acid and bases are reacting with each other, then what is this salt formed? So dear children, a salt can be acidic, basic, or neutral. A salt can be acidic, basic, or neutral. Right? Neutral in nature. It's not compulsory that it will always be neutral. It can be acidic. Like sodium chloride is a neutral salt, sodium bicarbonate is basic. I'm giving you the example. NaCl. This is our sodium chloride, which is common salt we are using. Sodium chloride, right? That is neutral. Okay. And on the other side, if I talk about sodium bicarbonate, that is NaHCO3. This is sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate, right? This is basic. And third is ammonium chloride, NH4Cl, right? This is called ammonium chloride. So one example you can learn. That's why I'm telling you to name one salt which is acidic in nature, name one salt which is basic in nature, name one salt which is neutral. So these example you can use, right? And whatever the name of acid is there, name of salt, usually it's formed, that is usually named after the acid used in the neutralization reaction. For example, salts obtained by neutralization of sulfuric acid, right? Remember, let me write down this also. that a salt is usually named after the acid used. After the acid used. Example, if I am using sulfuric acid H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, right? So what kind of salt will be formed? Salt of sulfates will be formed. Sulfates, right? And those in which hydrochloric acid is used, HCl, they will form chloride, right? And the in which the nitric acid is used, HNO3, they will be nitrates. This what I mean to say, right? So please keep in mind this. Again, I'm going to repeat it, like acid plus base, acid and base, they are reacting with each other, then they form salt and water, right? Along with heat is released. But now the question arises, what are these salts? What are these salts? So if acid and base are reacting with each other, so it means that that salt will be neutral, because acidic character, basic character will not be there. No, it's not true, because some salts can be acidic, some can be basic, some can be neutral. So I have given the example, sodium chloride is a neutral salt, sodium bicarbonate is basic, and ammonium chloride is a acidic salt. Right now, to understand their naming, that if I ask in this which acid would be used to form sodium chloride, I can understand by using this, because chloride salts kab bante hain when hydrochloric acid is used, right? Now bicarbonate ke andar you can also say that another bicarbonate is used, and if sulfuric acid is used, sulfates will be formed, nitric acid will be used, then nitrates will be formed. So this is very, very important to understand that which kind of salt form when, right? So basically sulfates, chlorides and nitrates. We will be discussing only these three type of salts. Now, dear children, as this reaction is neutralization reaction, but that is very, very important in our daily life. Why? I will explain you now. Those applications of neutralization reaction. Application of neutralization in daily life. First is acidity and indigestion. We all have heard this word, indigestion, acidity. Sometimes when you are in school, you feel pain in your stomach, right? And you go to medical room, and then ma'am asks that you might be having some acidity or indigestion, but you ate in the morning, in the breakfast and all that. So why does this all happen? Because our stomach contains hydrochloric acid that we have done in chapter number 2, right? Hydrochloric acid, which aids in digestion of food. When this acid becomes more in number, right, then it can lead to heartburn or discomfort. These symptoms can be relieved by administrating bases such as magnesium hydroxide or aluminum hydroxide gel. Fruit salts, which are a mixture of sodium bicarbonate and citric acid, can also be used to relieve acidity. So such substances which counteract acidity are known as antacids, right? Because acidity means more acid, right? So we will give more base, right? So the substances which help us to protect from acidity. They are known as antacids, like milk of magnesia. Okay, very general example, ENO we are using, that is a base, because it gets the immediate effect. We get the immediate effect or immediate relief from the stomach ache if it is due to acidity, right? One is this. Second is wastewater treatment. We know that there is lot of water wasted every day, right? So we can't let it go as it is, because if it is wastage, we can't allow it to go as it is. We know that many industries may have strong acids dissolved in it when they release the water. So releasing the acidic wastewater into environment can be harmful for the aquatic life and even for the soil quality. So treating such water with bases such as sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide neutralizes the acids and make it safe for disposal, right? Because as any, we can release the water directly from the industries into the river. First, we will neutralize the effect of acid. How we can neutralize the effect of acid? By neutralization reaction. So similarly, we will add base in that so that it can be disposed of safely. Okay. Third, very common, that is tooth decay. Right? We know that acids are present in the food items. So we eat can erode the protective covering of our teeth, leading to tooth decay. When it will remain there in the cavity, then it will start releasing the acids. And what will happen? The roots of the teeth will become loose. Then it will broken and the tooth decay will take place. That's why we are using the toothpaste, which is basic in nature. That's why it is always advised, brush your teeth twice a day, right? Twice a day. Morning after the breakfast, this is the right way. And then when you are going to bed, before going to bed, you must brush your teeth, right? So twice a day. Okay. Then fourth is agriculture. We know that agriculture is very, very important, right? So plants cannot grow if the soil is too acidic, and even they cannot grow if the soil is too basic. So if it is too acidic, so we can add more base. And if it is too basic, we can add more acid. So what will happen? Neutralization, right? So we have to neutralize. If it is acidic, we have to neutralize the effect of acid by adding base. If it is basic, so we should neutralize the effect of base by adding acid, right? So both way neutralization will work. Then last but not the least is ants sting. Ant sting, we have seen that ant sting contains formic acid, right? It contains formic acid. Very important. Contains formic acid, right? So when you are stung by an ant, it is advised that you rub baking soda because it is basic in nature. So basic in nature or calamine solution, you can also use. Both these substances will neutralize the effect of ant sting, that is formic acid, and we will get relief from the pain, right? So these are the applications of neutralization in our daily life. I hope this is going to help you out. So if anyone having any doubt, you may ask.